What if I told you the greatest opportunities of your life probably won't look like an opportunity when it first arrives? It might look like a setback, a difficult conversation, a job you didn't expect, a business idea nobody believes in, a market correction, or a problem everyone else is trying to avoid. History has shown us something fascinating. The people who change industries, build companies, create wealth, and transform their lives almost always see something others completely miss. So today, I have one question for you. Are opportunities passing you by, or have you simply never trained yourself to recognize them? Welcome to Success Saturday. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another episode of the Unbearably Bullish Podcast. It's the official podcast of the Bull You Can't Bear. I am your host, Donald Johns, and every Saturday we explore the principles, psychology, and habits that separate ordinary performers from extraordinary achievers. Episode 1 taught us never to quit. Episode 2 showed us success, it leaves clues. Today, we're taking the next step because persistence matters. Learning matters. But eventually, you have to develop the ability to recognize opportunity long before anyone else does. Let's dive in. One of the biggest misconceptions about success is that opportunity arrives with flashing lights. It doesn't. Opportunity rarely announces itself. More often, it arrives disguised as uncertainty. I mean, think about that. When markets become volatile, some people, they panic. Others begin researching. When industries change, some complain. Others begin learning. When problems appear, some see obstacles. Others see businesses waiting to be built. The situation is exactly the same. The perspective is completely different. Here's something worth remembering. Successful people don't see a different world. They simply interpret the same world differently. But why does this happen? Why can two intelligent people look at the exact same situation and reach completely different conclusions? The answer actually begins inside your own mind. Your brain is constantly filtering information. Every single second, you're surrounded by thousands of sights, sounds, ideas, and possibilities. If your brain processed everything, you would become overwhelmed. So instead, it prioritizes what you taught it to notice. If you constantly focus on problems, you'll become incredibly good at finding problems. If you constantly focus on excuses, well, you'll become an expert at explaining why something can't be done. But if you intentionally train yourself to ask, where is the opportunity? Your perspective begins to change. The opportunities were always there. Your awareness simply became sharper. That's one of the hidden differences between average performers and exceptional ones. Howard Schultz once traveled to Italy, and he noticed something that most tourists overlooked. People weren't just buying coffee. They were building relationships, meeting friends, having conversations, creating community. When he returned to the United States, he wasn't trying to sell more coffee. He wanted to recreate that experience. He saw value where others saw routine. That perspective helped transform Starbucks into one of the world's most recognized brands. The lesson isn't about coffee, although I love coffee. The lesson is about observation. Opportunity often hides inside ordinary moments. So, how do you train yourself to recognize it? It starts by asking better questions. The next time an opportunity comes your way, ask yourself 4 simple questions. Number 1, what problem does this solve? Because businesses that solve meaningful problems often create lasting value. Number 2, does this move me closer to the future that I'm trying to build? not tomorrow, 5 years from now? Number three, am I making this decision based on facts or fear? Fear creates hesitation. Facts create clarity. And number four, if I say no today, will I regret not trying? Those four questions won't guarantee success, but they'll help you make more intentional decisions. Here's something I've learned after 2 decades of working with investors and entrepreneurs. Most people, they aren't lacking opportunity, they're lacking preparation. Opportunity often arrives quietly. Prepared people recognize it. Unprepared people, they overlook it. People often believe success comes from one life-changing breakthrough. The truth is, success usually comes from dozens of small opportunities recognized over time. It can be one conversation, one new skill, one book, one introduction, one courageous decision. Those small choices begin to compound, much like investing. Small, consistent improvements can produce extraordinary long-term results. The same principle that applies to your life. This week, I want you to write down 3 opportunities you've been avoiding. Maybe it's making an important phone call, starting a business, applying for a promotion, learning a new skill, having a conversation you've been putting off. Now ask yourself one question. What's actually stopping me? Is it fear, comfort, or uncertainty? Because growth almost always begins where comfort ends. Let's do the bull's bottom line. And I'm going to leave you with this. The market, it rewards preparation. Business, it rewards execution. Life rewards perspective. The opportunities you've been waiting for, they may already exist. The difference isn't whether opportunity is there. The difference is whether you've trained yourself to recognize it. Never stop learning. Never stop growing. Never stop preparing, because once your perspective changes, your opportunities begin to change with it. In closing, Bulls, I want to thank you for joining me again for another Success Saturday here on the Unbearably Bullish Podcast. And if today's episode helped you see success through a different lens, please share it with somebody who's ready to unlock their next opportunity. Next Saturday, we'll explore the decision advantage, why the quality of your life is often determined by the quality of the decisions that you make every day. And until then, you can follow us on all the socials, watch us on all the platforms, or you can go directly to thebullyoucan'tbear.com. Remember, strong markets, stronger mindset, unlimited opportunity. Let's connect, collaborate, and monetize. I'm Donald Johns. Thank you for listening. And remember, we love you and always stay unbearably bullish. I'm going to do the educational disclosure here at the end. The views and opinions expressed on the Unbearably Bullish Podcast are provided for educational and informational purposes only and should not be construed as financial, investment, legal, tax, or professional advice. References to companies, businesses, leaders, industries, or historical examples are used solely for educational discussion and do not constitute endorsements or recommendations. Success in business, investing, and entrepreneurship is influenced by many factors, and past results do not guarantee future outcomes. Always conduct your own due diligence and consult qualified professionals before making financial, legal, or tax decisions. We love you all. Thank you so much for turning in and tuning in, and have a wonderful Saturday. Thank you.